In the beginning of this video, I'm going to cover some things that correlate over to AMC, as well as a ban on naked short selling, which we are going to talk about as soon as the video starts. After AMC, I'm going to cover the overall market and then the best stocks to trade this week that I will personally be trading or potentially be taking trades on, as well as the major key events that are happening this week. So this is a full-on update for the market this week. I'm going to leave timestamps down below in case you are only here for AMC, or in case you're only here for the market and you don't want to see what trades we are watching coming into the week. So without further ado, all I ask you guys to do, of course, is to please hit the like button. It helps me out. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. The Financial Supervisory Service, FSS, is cracking down on naked short selling again, as it had found 41 million worth of illegal short selling on domestic stocks by 2 global banks. In a statement made today, FSS announced it would be promptly to launch the process of imposing penalties. While the FSS has not named the 2 investment banks, it said the banks had breached rules for several months in 2022 and in 2023 by conducting naked short selling, the practice of selling shares without borrowing them first. The article continues, in quotes, the FSS latest findings come as it's expanding probes into the past short selling trades by 10 global investment banks that most actively handled hedge funds and other traders' short selling activities. So South Korea, as many of you know, has banned short selling until June of this year. They are now coming out and saying, listen, we're finding more information and we are pleased to propose further penalties, but not only that, extend the ban even further and wider, right? They are not messing around with naked short selling. Moving on, quick touch. Mean Girls, the new movie, is already 31 million plus box office opening. Good sign for AMC. And since we are talking about the movies, this is what is most importantly going to fundamentally affect AMC. Movies releasing in 2024. Here are some of the major titles. You guys can screenshot this if you like. You see Deadpool 3 in here, Despicable Me 4, Godzilla of Hong Kong, Joker 2, Beetlejuice 2, Rush Hour 4, Bad Boys 4, The Lord of the Rings. The list goes on and on, which will, in my opinion, have a strong impact for AMC. Moving on, key events this week that are going to affect the overall market. Markets closed tomorrow on Monday. It is Martin Luther King Day. Retail sales data is on Wednesday, so we don't really have much happening on Thursday except the earnings plays that we're going to talk about a little bit later. The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index on Thursday, and then existing home sales Friday, as well as MI consumer sentiment data, and a total of 7 Fed members that speak this week. Another short, busy week ahead. Looking at the overall market coming into the week, we are looking at the daily time frame. In my opinion, I see weakness coming up to the 480 level. I don't think it is going to break it second try. If you take a look back here previously when the SPY reached all-time highs, when this happened, it was a very, very aggressive level of resistance, which of course it is the all-time high. And I think the SPY is going to potentially test 480 or just sell off come Tuesday. Either way, I see chop for the most part this week, and we may see a delay in the stocks that we like. However, I could be very wrong, and you could see volatility pick up since it is a short week. Now, I want to come into the trades that I will be trading and the best stocks to quote-unquote buy now or short now. But before I do that, where do you think we are? Drop it in the comments down below. Main stage is in a bubble. Do you think we are in delusion? Do you think we are in return to normal or somewhere else? Finally, Boeing, ticker symbol BA, cockpit window crack found mid-Air Forces Japan, and a Boeing 737-800 flight to turn back. Boeing has been getting bad news for the stock and potentially bad news coming forward for this week. And if we take a look over here at the stock chart, it's trading at 217.70. That's what it closed at, down 2.23% after that, after hours. And if I take a look at Boeing, this is my outlook going forward, potentially entering puts. Shout out One to Watch for bringing it up on my radar. Since I did some analysis on it, I figured might as well bring it up. This is an easy trade right here. Couple things to note: if Boeing does climb higher, which is the less likely scenario, I would watch anywhere between 234-ish, 233.90, all the way up to 243.50, okay, somewhere in that zone. And then anything higher, I would most likely set a stop. Now, in my opinion, this is an easy play for puts, especially if more news comes out. Overall, on Tuesday, I would watch the overall direction and the volume to see where the volume wants to go. We want to see more volume pick up on this sell-off, and since it is decreasing, we may see a day of pop or so, maybe 2 days, or maybe not, right? Maybe we see the increase in volume. Either way, I'm watching levels down here for it to come down to right into 202.50, to around 196. Okay, this box down here, this is where I expect Boeing to come down to. It also enters that bottom of the fib at the 236, which I think it will build support here, and that is where I would probably close for profits. That is the first stock. Next up, Apple is preparing an extensive sales pitch for the $3,499 Vision Pro, which includes a demo lasting as long as 25 minutes. Why not look at Apple? If we take a look at Apple here, we see a major double top on the overall chart right around 196, and then a breakdown with a gap to be filled higher, and it also bounced on the 0.5 fib. We do want to see it hold here. We want to see volume increase on this gap higher. We're seeing rejection on the 618 for the fib as of right now. And once we break above this and get a full candle close, I expect to scale at least up to 190.50. And that is the level I'm watching for Apple. So I'm watching for a break over this level at the fib right around 186.50 to come up to 190.50, somewhere in that zone for Apple. Moving on, JP Morgan just had earnings, trading at 169, basically all-time highs, very close. And if you take a look, it was basically neutral. It gapped all the way up here to 176 and came all the way back down, eating those gains away to 169 during earnings. There is also a gap to be filled right around here. Why am I bringing this up? Is this a trade? No, I'm not playing JP Morgan, and also I'm not playing BlackRock. But BlackRock had earnings at the same exact time, basically, and you got the same exact thing, a neutral outlook, except came all the way down and then finished higher. Still a very neutral outlook. BlackRock also has this same gap to be filled down here, bringing it down to around 750. Am I playing BlackRock? No, I am not playing BlackRock, but this correlates over to the earnings that we are about to be playing. Earnings Whisperers tweet, you see earnings beats, but we see high expectations going into the news, resulting in neutral results, which is exactly what I wanted to talk about. If we take a look at this week, the earnings for January 15th, you see many banks reporting earnings as well as interactive brokers, but today we are looking at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, the first two banks that report Tuesday before the open. And if you take a look over here, Yahoo Finance, with this earnings history in mind, recent estimates have been moving higher for Morgan Stanley. In fact, the Zacks estimate, ESP, expected surprise prediction for the company is positive, which is a great sign of an earnings beat, especially when you combine this metric with its nice Zacks rank. So just like Earnings Whisperer says, high expectations going into the news, coming out with neutral results, as well as Goldman Sachs. The investment bank is expected to post a quarterly earnings of $4.40 per share in the upcoming report, which represents a year-over-year change of 32.5%. Revenues are expected to be $10.89 billion, up 2.9% from the year ago, according to the Zacks consensus once again. So you're seeing these high estimates, and these are the other two plays I wanted to talk about. Morgan Stanley coming up, testing the top of this parallel channel once, twice, almost a third time, and then a real third time right here. First time, slaughtered. Second time, slaughtered. Almost third time, slaughtered. Fourth time, is this going to break higher and enter a new trading range for Morgan Stanley, even though banks aren't doing as hot as they should be, right? They're only getting high estimates coming into earnings so that their stock prices hold up. Now, in my opinion, I don't think so. I think this is coming down and filling a gap between 87.25 and 86.10, and I will be entering puts on it. Not only that, if it scales higher for earnings, I will still be entering this play because I think that is going to fill out and that will get me a better price, right? I will be having a close stop, just to let you know. Over this trend line, I would be out anywhere above $94.35 for Morgan Stanley. But in my opinion, this is going to come down. Also, I think the market has a chance to show weakness this week, which will affect these plays as well. Then Goldman Sachs, a very similar scenario as well. I expect it to come down and base off of the top of this parallel channel, filling this gap right here. And it also looks like it may be forming a very ugly head and shoulders, probably on the 4-hour chart. We are sitting on the daily right now. 365.30 to 363.05 is where I expect this thing to come down to. And then there, that would be breaking under the 618 to fill that gap, which means you're either going to fill that and flash higher to hold the 618, or you have a chance to come all the way down to the bottom of this parallel channel at the 0.5 0.5 fib, which lines up perfectly to right around $348 on Goldman Sachs. Overall, guys, let me know what you think about these plays. Let me know what you are doing coming into the market this weekend. We will be talking about these trades a little bit more in Discord, so make sure to get in the Discord, guys. The link is right under the video. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks all day long, as well as crypto, and we have options trading alerts in there. We post gains, post losses. Best place to go, cheapest Discord on YouTube. It's a coffee a month. Level yourself up for 2024. Get in here, come talk with me, come request videos and talk stocks. Speaking of stocks, 15 free ones, each valued up to $2,000 per stock. So a chance at $30,000 for signing up to Mumu using my link, opening an account, and making a deposit. This deposit can be even a penny, so the ones who signed up, make sure you deposit your penny into your account. Also, guys, it's a great platform to use that keeps your money insured. You get 5.1% APY on your uninvested cash, level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, a customizable earnings calendar, viewing other exchanges, and more. So yeah, there's no reason not to do it. It's free. Use my link, sign up now, make a deposit. That is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. We have a longer weekend, so we will be posting tomorrow for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hit the like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, have post notifications on. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.